Get the group text?
Should I leave?
Well, March of 2020 when COVID shut the world down, because I wanted people to have a place that they could come to every week for some joy and hope and inspiration, to just have fun. And I've kept it going, and it's an honor to have you guys. We're going to have a good conversation.
Let's do it.
All right, and the fans, comments are off because a lot of fans like to see your faces and not have comments scrolling up and not able to see you. But I have their questions. I'll be asking you a bunch throughout the interview and towards the end. So guys, stick around for that. And man, I mean, let's dive in. So congrats on the film, Untitled Horror Movie. Awesome, awesome movie. I watched a screener last week, and I loved it. I thought it was hysterical. I thought you guys nailed every single comedy piece that you want in a movie like this, and it was also freaky. It was freaky as hell. So, for those who don't know, tell me what this movie is all about. Give me like the short synopsis.
Luke Baines, I think that's you.
No, I'm just an actor right now. Okay, so the movie is a comedy about making a horror movie. And it's about a bunch of actors who find out their TV show is getting cancelled, and they decide to shoot their own horror movie and accidentally summon a bunch of spirits, or a spirit, potentially.
All right, did he nail that, guys? You're with
That's
it?
pretty much, yeah, that's it. That's it.
Cool, cool. So tell me about your characters. You guys play awesome. Every character in this movie is so much fun, and there's such development around them, which I love. So let's go one by one. Tell me who you play, and tell me a little bit about who they are. Luke, we can start with you.
I play Declan. He is a bit of an F-up, and he kind of fell into acting. You know, was one of those like cool kids who kind of was just in the right place at the right time, and is a bit of a mischief maker.
Okay, cool. Tim?
Yeah. So my character is Kip. He's kind of like spearheading this whole creating the project. So he's a little bit of a goober, nice guy. I was told that Kip was based on me as Tim Granaderos, so I have questioning what Luke and Nick think about me as a person, because he's a little bit of a ding dong. But yeah, no, he's a lovable, I think, good intention guy. Yeah.
So I played Max, and Max, I guess you would say, one of those typical LA actors that thinks he takes one acting class and Marlon Brando. He also booked his first audition, so got very lucky. But yeah, he is just a serious tryhard. He really cares about what he's doing, but not the sharpest tool in the shed, I would say.
Okay, very nice. Fill in the blank with this one. My character can't live without blank.
Almond milk.
I get it.
This is creative juices, It's what gets him going.
My character can't live without Leslie Kahn.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
My character can't live without tequila.
Ooh, all right. All three great things. I'm here.
It sounds like an MTV dating show right there.
Right on.
The twist is that they choose neither of us.
Right. Now, Luke, you co-wrote the film with the amazing Nick Simon. So how did this idea come to be? And then you enlisted this all-star cast. So how did this all come to be for you?
Yeah, I came up with the idea. I was out shopping, and I saw this woman in her 60s, I want to say, and she had a pendulum, and she was standing in the bread aisle trying to figure out whether or not she should buy which kind of bread. And I thought that was pretty funny. And I thought, imagine if there was a ghost on the opposite side who was just like messing with her constantly and just like pushing it to give her like the wrong answer. And I thought, that's really funny. I'm going to see if Nick wants to write a horror film about a possessed pendulum. And he was like, no, but maybe we could shoot something right now. And that's kind of where the idea evolved, to have all these actors kind of, start trying to make their own horror movie, and then bad stuff kind of happens.
That's so cool. And then for you guys, what was it that made you say yes? Because obviously this is something so fresh and innovative, hasn't been done, and it could have gone as a complete disaster, right? And it came out so good. So what intrigued you about wanting to do this?
Go ahead, Darren.
I knew Luke from Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We did that together, got to know each other. I really liked him. Funny story about Luke, though. The role he played on Shadowhunters, I auditioned for. Obviously, I didn't get.
You
And
never told me this.
There's
then on,
beef.
then on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the role he did was the role I was originally supposed to do, but then they called me back for a larger part, which worked out well. So I was, you know what? I like him, but also I got to prove to this guy that I got to show off and one up for somehow and show him what's up. So
That's so funny. Love that. Do you know what's
Ma-
actually also funny about the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was that I was supposed to play the other guy whose face I stole. You know, like I steal
oh
some guy's
yeah,
face. And they basically like told me like the day before, JK was switching those roles around, and I was like, okay, but what am I doing? And they were like, oh, we don't really know yet. I was like, okay, just turn up. And and no one had the script, no one knew what was going on. I was like, guys, is anyone going to tell me what I'm doing?
That's terrifying. I feel like the three of us go out for most of the same roles, which like if the center of the Venn diagram was like douchebag, like that's kind of that's where we meet in the middle.
That's our casting type. Yeah, that's our
Yeah.
police.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Actually, Luke and Nick called me earlier, like in the early development stages, and they were like, "We have this idea." I've been buddies with them for a while, and they were like, "We have this kind of idea. We've noticed a lot of actors are just kind of going crazy on social media, out of work, out of creating stuff." And they were like, "We have this idea for a project that we could shoot, while we're all kind of in our apartments and in the confines of our apartments." So they were like, "We'd love for you to be a part of it if you're interested." And I straight up told them, I was like, "I need to think about it. I don't. I'm not committing just yet."
Really?
And then also at that same time, I was growing just a real I don't know, adolescent mustache. And it was in the peak of mustache. I don't know what you want to call it, but so I was like, let me think about it, and then also, if I agree to do this, can I keep the mustache in the film? And now it's iconic at this point, I guess.
and then you had to keep it for like 2 extra months because of reshoots.
I forgot about that. I did. You know what?
You played yourself.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I was fine with it. My roommate, she was not. She did not.
You know what's funny is
mustache.
that sorry,
Okay.
a journalist came up the other day and was like, really appreciated that Tim Granaderos' mustache has its own credit in the credits.
It has.
Well, it is.
So.
Yeah, it's like a character of its own. You got to have its own credit. I love that.
For
Now,
sure.
you guys did it all, right? You starred in the movies, you did makeup, you did camera, you did cinematography, all of it. What part of everything you did were you kind of like, did it, I'm good, don't need to do that part again? Or did you genuinely love doing it all?
Everyone was like, I enjoyed all of it. I started behind camera, and so it was good because it reminded me to be appreciative of like I'm doing my work as an artist and all, but there's a lot of work that goes into making you look good, making you sound good, making everything flow. I never want to touch my face again with makeup. I'm like, am I contouring it right? Am I doing it? Is it too little? So that garbage got in my head sometimes. But other than that, it was honestly, in terms of like reshoots and ADR, we did less on this movie than anyone I've ever done before. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Makeup while we were sitting there in our little Zoom chat, and I thought to myself, dang, should I have been doing makeup this entire time?
Oh, you didn't do it?
I like put a little like bronzer stuff on my face, and I was like, I'm good. And then I saw you in between takes, you're like patting yourself down, got the brush out. I'm like, dude, did I just mess up? Should I have been wearing makeup this entire time?
Meanwhile, I had Stephanie the whole time. I
Yeah.
was lucky enough to have a pod with my hair and makeup person from Shadowhunters. And so that's why my bruise makeup looks so good, because a professional did it.
Okay. That's what a writing credit gets you, I guess.
There's scenes in there where I have way too much on, but I think that worked for Matt. He seems like the guy that would just wear makeup. So
Yeah. I think Go ahead, Luke.
We almost used a clip of you putting makeup on before, like as part of the Zoom, like that we thought like Max might have done. But
That's
it kind of
great.
just, yeah, it didn't. That was one of the really hard parts of making this movie was, if you look at the directors, like the back end of how they edited the movie, it's just like layer on top of layer on top of layer on top of layer on top of layer because we had all these separate feeds of everybody's cameras. So with something like that, it's like I would always be say to the editor, "Hey, can we just like extend that scene a little bit?" In my head, thinking you can just kind of like go in there, drag and drop. I don't know how it works. He was like, "No, I'd have to re-edit the entire section." I was like, "How long's that going to take?" He's like, "A day." I was like, "Is it worth it?"
Okay, so that answers the question for me. The part that I probably wouldn't want to go back and do again is all the stuff that happens after we get done shooting for the day. We had to like log and capture everything, make sure it was on hard drives, and we had to, send that all off. And that was kind of nerve-wracking because it was like, what if you just hit the erase, if there's an erase button? I don't know. Is there an erase button that just deletes everything and then you have no footage from the day? So I think that part that's too much pressure for me.
I mean, everything you guys did all together, it's just amazing, including acting to a Zoom or a phone or a FaceTime. I imagine that must have been a little weird. Oh, we lost Luke. I'll have to add him back in. I imagine that must have been a little bit weird, right? Compared to having sets and the camera pulled out and all of that.
Yeah.
So what was it? Was it weird for you being so close to the camera?
I forgot it was there. Honestly.
Did you really?
Yeah, because I don't know. I was so in tune with like the Zoom. It felt like being on Zoom with your friends. The camera was the phone, so it just felt like I was on Zoom. It really sometimes forgot in my filming, which great. So
Yeah, I think before we started shooting, there was like the fear of is it going to be awkward because we're on camera and we're not in the same room with people. But I think after a couple minutes in the table read, we were all like, oh, we were playing off each other, we were connecting, and it was way easier than we thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it did feel like we're just on a Zoom with our buddies, just hanging out.
Yeah, that's impressive because you don't miss anything when you're that close to the camera, right? So I imagine that must have been a bit odd for you guys. Luke, I'm keeping my eye out for you, so I didn't forget about you. As soon as you pop back, I'll add you back in. What did you guys most enjoy about the whole process?
I think I most enjoyed the amount of freedom that we had in terms of like the amount that I and everyone got to improv and kind of play off of each other, and Nick was very okay with that. So it felt like we were just playing. It wasn't any pressure of like, there wasn't that much pressure of like time. You don't have like, it's not like a regular set where you have like an AD every 10 minutes being like, we gotta go. Like, oh, that's overtime. People just freak out. It felt like we were making like a home movie. That was kind of the best part for me.
Yeah, that was the freedom was a lot of fun. I think the relationships that came out of it, that have come out of it, like Darren and I have never even been in the same room before. I've never met Claire and Emmy, but yeah, at this point we're all homies. So it's
cool.
And all the producers, DP, like everyone that was in those Zoom sessions, like we're all buddies with at this point. You spend so much time, just like you said, just staring at each other's faces.
Yeah.
Too close, too quick. Because if I see Tim, I'm probably going to very personally insult, just like I do my close friends, and be like, "What's up, you piece of?" And be like, "Oh, wow, we've never met."
Oh my goodness! Hey, welcome back.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
It is just in the nick of time because I have got a really important question for all of you. So I grew up on horror. I love the Kevin Williamsons, Wes Cravens, Rob Zombies, all of them. And I asked the ladies this question too. This tells me a lot about who you are as a person. So when you watch a scary movie, are you either A, the person like screaming at the TV saying, "Don't turn that way, no"? Are you B, the person covering your eyes, like sinking in your seat, you can't watch it? Or C, just like chilling with your milk duds, not bothered at all?
I have a D.
Ooh. What's D?
You do?
I do. Well, yeah. Thank you, Luke. That was it. That was the statement. No. I'm the person sitting there being like, why does the serial killer know the blueprint of your house better than you do? And how does he always catch up to you when he's just walking the whole time? I'm the idiot. I'm the idiot trying to figure out logic and forgetting.
No.
Yeah, I know. I'm that jerk. I'm sorry.
All right.
Do you know what's funny is that Nick, when I did Girl in the Photographs with Nick Simon, I played a serial killer in it, and there's this scene where I was walking, and he was like, it was like the first time I'd had to walk anywhere, and he like came up, I was like, have you never seen a horror movie? I was like, what? He's like, you're walking way too fast. The killer always walks like 10 times slower than the person who's running, and they always catch up to them. I personally am the biggest scaredy cat, so I watch everything through my eyes. Like I remember when I watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre in the cinema, like I think it was the remake as well, and had my fingers in my ears the whole time on the floor, watching through the seats.
I get it.
Okay. I think I'm the person. I think I'm A and C, just kind of taking it in, but at the same time, I'm like, why are you going in there?
Right.
Because it's like a participant, like watching a horror film is like
So frustrating.
You got to participate a little bit. You're there with them, you know. It's like you can't like Darren's a logic guy, but logic kills everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does.
But I respect that.
All right. Very
Imagine the writer of the movie talking about how logic kills everything. You're really jumping into your character there.
See,
Yeah.
very meta.
That's right.
Meta.
Very meta. Now, I also played a game last week with the ladies, so I got to give you guys a game as well. I can't leave you hanging. So I'm going to give you 3 scenarios, and I want you to tell me who the person would be in the scenario, okay? Of the 3 of you. Scenario number 1, 3 of you are trapped in a house. Scary killer enters the house. Who is the person to make the plan, be organized, and get you all safely out of the house nice and quietly, out of you 3? And you can say Mike yourself, too.
Oh,
I would say Luke at this point.
yeah. Luke.
All right.
Dad.
Luke.
I'm a good foot soldier, but in the moment of making plans, I'm a little panicky, I think.
Yeah. You need a baseball bat with nails in it. I'll tear stuff up, but you know.
Well,
We
all
got
right,
it.
well, that's my second question. It's who's most likely to grab the nearest weapons and hand them to their friends and say, let's just fucking go for it.
100%. Me. Look at all of us are trying to be tough guys. We're like, yeah, we would do it. Why does be in an area we're all like, no, dude, you do it.
No, you do it. You grab the bat and go in front. I'll grab the spatula and I'll be right
Yeah.
behind you, buddy.
Yeah.
Luke's in the back making the plans, calling out orders.
I also feel like Darren's gone and grabbed the bat with the nails, and it's actually the pizza guy. Darren's run out, and he's like, I've got it. Not you.
Shit, now we got to bury a body.
Yeah.
All right, wait, the third one. Who's most likely to push their friends out of the house, lock the door behind them, and say, I've got this. Like, one-on-one, let's go.
I'll do it for you guys. For you, I'll do it.
All right, good. Someone
All
had
right.
to do it.
That was kind of a trick question. Good answer. I like that.
Honestly, it's actually probably Tim.
Whoa!
No,
I'm sacrificing myself for you.
Maybe
that's what
Tim.
I'm saying. I feel like you would do that for us.
Oh,
Tim
I would
was
be the one to go
selfless.
outside. Is that the question? To just go out there and lock the door? Or push someone out there?
No, you're pushing your friends out and staying in the house to like.
Oh, yeah, that's me. I'll
Yeah,
take
but
that.
only if you have a mustache, because then the serial killer wouldn't come to your.
Just be creeped out.
They'd
Just
be creeped
start-
out.
Turn around and run away.
I'm good.
Yeah,
Whoa,
I'm
no.
not. That's amazing. Now I have to ask. I saw a lot of questions on behalf of the fans, so I want to get one question in here. You guys are some of the most talented people in the business. Period. You're part of these phenomenal hits. You know, Shadowhunters and Never Have I Ever and 13 Reasons Why. So a lot of the fans were wondering when you look back at your time on those shows and you look back at your time in the show now, Darren, what's something that just makes you smile about the characters that you got to play?
That I don't know. I mean, each time I got to embody something a little bit different. I mean, even though I've done like quote unquote heartthrob roles, there's been times that there has to be something there's always something that I have to like take time to understand. And I don't know, it's always a learning experience. It always forces you to learn and kind of open your eyes and just be more aware. And yeah, it's always a pleasure. It's always a lot of fun. I don't think there's any other job where you get to really do that. So.
Nice.
I guess I would say just every character you get to play has a piece of you in it, whether it's good or bad. So It's honestly, it's kind of like therapy because you get to like Darren was saying, like understand who that character is through trying to learn what they're going through by applying, things that have happened in your past and kind of just imagining what the character is going through. So I think that's the most interesting part of acting in general is just you get to learn a little bit about yourself and the world around you. So yeah.
Cool. What about you, Luke?
Honestly, the show was so cool for me because up until that point, I had done a bunch of movies or mostly film. I think was my first TV show, and it was really cool to walk into something that already had a history, from the books and the movies, and obviously I was already joining the TV series, so it was really cool to go into something with like a wealth of material there. Like I didn't have to do anything; everything was already laid out for me. I just had to choose what I wanted to use, kind of thing. So it was a really cool experience.
Nice. I love that. What's in the theme of quarantine, right? Which is when you film the movie. What's something that you all learned during quarantine that, is something you'll carry with you for the rest of your life that can maybe help somebody who's watching today?
I think how important connection is in general as a person. I'm that person that's always like, oh, I love my solitude and I don't like to go out, blah, 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 blah. And but when quarantine hit, obviously I miss those things. And FaceTime, which was something I also couldn't stand, and my only way to see people and have some kind of connection. And the first time I was able to hug somebody out of it, I was like, wow, pride myself of just interacting and communicating and connecting with people, especially ones that you love. So I'll always remember that for sure.
Boop.
This sounds so dumb, but I got really good at Mario Kart during the lockdown. I attacked it like college. Like I broke down every course. I watched all the fastest players do it to figure out the best. Like I'm a nerd. But what I realized from it was that it's really nice for me to have something where I completely turn my mind off. I have very few things that do that. Like even meditating is really hard sometimes because it's hard to clear your mind and all that sort of stuff. I love to you have a really hard day, you come home and play Mario Kart for half an hour or an hour and you're like, oh, I feel like a human again.
Yeah.
So that's legit. That is what I discovered during the pandemic.
Yeah. Honestly, to piggyback off what you're saying, Luke, for me, I found that between our jobs, communicating with people, social media, television, my brain is always going, especially now with phones, always looking at the phone. So I think for me over the break, but over the pandemic, just finding things that you enjoy that kind of allow your mind to just wander, whether it be playing the guitar or riding motorcycles, just something that completely shuts off the world around you or your mind and your thoughts. And, things you have to do and things you've done in the past, but just be present in the moment that you're actually in.
Oh god, it's such a clip.
Did you Loogie?
Loogie?
What?
I thought you were just calling Luigi Loogie.
No, what's his name? Waluigi?
Wait, Wario?
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
no, it's not Wario. It's a guy called Waluigi. I swear. Did I make that up? Was this a dream?
This is a simulation. No, I thought you were just saying Luigi.
No. There's a character. I'm pretty sure it's called. Look, I knew that something bad was going to happen when I went live on the internet. Here it is.
You might be right. I gotta look into this. Luigi. I'm gonna look into that. All right. So these are a few more fan questions that I received. The most popular fan questions. Number one, I thought this was kind of fun for you guys. Describe each other in one word. Darren, we'll start with you.
Oh, God. Tim.
This is tough.
Tim. Sweetheart.
Aw.
No, I'm just kidding. Luke. So hard to choose one word, but I could say.
Yeah.
Luke, kick it off.
I'm gonna say for Darren, lovable, and for Tim, legend. Because I've always called it like Tim's just like he reminds me of Aussie boys I like grew up with. It's just like he's a legend. He's pretty chill.
Wait, can
like
we
that?
switched up the words? I don't. Okay, never mind. We're both wearing white T-shirts. I don't know if you got mixed up, but
I mean, honestly,
Same outfit, pretty much.
I can't figure out who's who right now.
Tim, what about you?
Don't even. I mean, we've never even been in the same room. I'd say loyal.
yes, sir.
And for Mr. Luke Baines, got a lot to give the world, and it's just like you're just seeing the beginning of it. Honestly.
Love that.
Going through that.
It's very.
I'm lovable and loyal like a golden retriever. Tim's a legend.
We're basically real, man. Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. That you guys, it feels like such a brotherhood, even without actually meeting physically. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because when we did the first table read, everyone just jumped in and immediately started like, you know, paying each other out and like having a laugh, and it has not changed ever since. Like within 3 minutes of getting on the phone, I think it was Tim's mustache. I mean, gotta give it to him. It like, you know, we had this common sense of wanting to you know, embarrass Tim, and it really it made us all bond as a.
It's true. It's true. See, I'm the guy that stays in the house. Remember that.
That's right. He's got your backs. I love that. The second most popular question: would you do a sequel on Zoom and FaceTime, or would you rather do it in person?
In person.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know where his screen is on you, but Darren for sure.
There were takes where it was incredibly hard to get through because of Darren. His ad libs were by far like I was in tears because I couldn't. I mean, Tim couldn't even get.
I was dying.
Eric, you wrote it. I did what I could with it. So that's you.
You literally got something I wrote, and like in my head it was like this thing, and you were like, "Oh, you wanna see me do that? Okay."
So did you go rogue? Did you guys go rogue a lot?
I'd say so. I mean, I know I did, but I think it'll. I mean, I'm not gonna say I paid.
Well, it pays off. Like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed the film. I thought it was so creative and innovative, and I hope you guys get all the accolades. Everybody tuned in. As a reminder, the world virtual premiere is this Saturday, right? June 12th? Cool. And then they can also watch it on the 15th as well, right?
It is also
amazing. And for everybody watching, I'm giving away a free ticket to your virtual premiere on Saturday, June 12th, which includes the celebrity red carpet and the cast Q&A. So if you guys want to enter, I'm going to post this full interview on my feed just in a minute at the end of night. So I'll head over there, enter in just a minute. And guys, before we all head off, what do you want to say to everybody watching who has stood by your side all these years and who's excited to cheer you on in this film?
Thank you. Honestly, it's been such a wild ride. Someone asked me in an interview the other day. They were like, "How did you manage to find so many actors who are all really good looking, really selves and uploaded without losing footage?" And I was like, "Huh, I think maybe I just like kept all the good ones and then put all in on." It's like I think all the bad characters I wrote about, and then the good ones I kept around. Grateful to